Well, let's talk about a massive problem in American schools, bullying. You know, according to the National Education Association bullying study, more than 40% of all kids think it is a major problem in their school. ABC's Claire Shipman tells us one mother worries that they won't come soon enough to save her daughter's life.
It's a nightmare no parent wants to face.
The rumor spreading and the whispering behind the hands and just the isolation. And again, she's coming home every day crying.
It's the tragic result of being bullied.
Every single night and every single morning, I wonder, is she going to be hanging in the closet or is she going to be breathing?
Protecting her daughter, this mother, whom we'll call Anne, agreed to speak to us, but only in shadow.
It sounds like a bad movie.
Very much so. It sounds just like Mean Girls.
It's our burn book. So we cut out girls' pictures from the yearbook, and then we wrote comments.
Like the film, Anne says her 13-year-old daughter is a target. But as a parent, what can Anne do? We showed Anne's desperate appeals to Dr. Susan Swearer, a psychologist and expert on bullying.
What can parents do about those sorts of fears? The fears of suicide, eating disorders, anxiety.
They need to make sure that their child is seeing a therapist and has that connection, as well as they need to make sure that their own relationship with their children is solid and, positive and supportive.
And then there's the increasingly prevalent threat on social media sites. Anne says her daughter faced threatening and sexual online bullying.
The leader of the pack, the bully, had pictures of her on her Facebook page. She's reading these horrible, horrible comments about herself. And I mean, it was just horrible.
This just takes bullying to an entirely different level.
Parents certainly need to educate themselves. Would you let your 12-year-old daughter walk down a dark alley in a major city by herself? The answer is no. And it's really the same thing if you let your child on the computer, unmonitored. You don't know where they're going.
But in school, the bullying continues. And Anne has been frustrated by her daughter's school's response.
The principal told all of the girls and told me, I don't want to hear about looks, I want to know about threats. Okay, well, looks for a teenage girl, that's what they do. That's their covert intimidation.
Swearer says focus on positive friendships and a strong family support system, but if all else fails, moving schools may be the only option.
I think a lot of times parents do have to look at that option, and yeah, it is drastic, but at the same time, the constant bullying, if it's not going away, that's going to have lasting, devastating effects.
And so here to help us better understand this alarming trend and how to support our children when they are bullied is Carrie Severson. She is the founder of Severson Sisters. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
What was so important for you as you founded this new organization?
Well, I wanted to create a program that gave girls an opportunity to embrace their individuality while we focus on how to work better together as girls, giving girls an opportunity to support one another, learn how to change their behavior, to give kindness out, and to really receive that versus give you a compliment, but then behind your back see something nasty.
Yeah.
So as a girl, I've been through that before, and now as an adult, I want to be able to share my experiences with a younger generation.
Yeah, really empower them to do purposeful, constructive conversations.
Yeah, going back to that old rule of thumb, do unto others as you would have done unto you.
Yeah. When you look at today's schools, the studies say that 62% of students have, in the last month, encountered at least one bullying act.
Isn't that awful?
Yeah, shocking to me.
Right.
So what kind of conversation should we be having with our children at home? Because clearly they're experiencing this at school.
I know, and since I've launched Severson Sisters, I get on a regular basis moms telling me they're considering picking up and moving school districts, moving across town to try to give their kids a better education. So I would say two things. One is, as a parent, get involved in an organization like MASK here in town. It's Mothers Awareness for School-Aged Kids. It's really a program that gives parents an idea of how to get other helpful tips, parents to parents. And then the second one would be to get their kid involved in an organization that gives them an opportunity to really embrace their individuality and learn how to handle those situations a little bit better, because we can't control how someone is going to treat us, but we can control how we receive that information and how to process it and then move on with their life and go about our business.
So for people at home who have kids in school, what age group is the height of bullying happening?
Middle school. It's the transitional period, elementary to middle to high school, where there's that social shifting going on, where kids are still trying to figure out where they fit in.
Jockeying for position.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then research shows that it's actually the kids in that middle chunk there that are bullied the most, because they're trying to fight for that higher position and too afraid of falling to that lower social standard.
You can see how that's happening. They're right in the middle of the ladder there. When it comes to girls and boys, do they bully differently?
Very differently, actually. Girls get into each other's heads more. They push each other's buttons. So they spread rumors. They cyberbully actually more than boys do. And boys are more verbal, to the point, physical, get on, let it go, and move on. But girls, it's more of this excluding each other from anything from the lunch table to social setting over the weekend.
Very cliquey.
Is that very?
Yeah. So you have a camp that's coming up, and I think it's important for people to know about it because it really empowers girls.
Yes, we're so excited. Severson Sisters, we launched a program called Connections, and it gives girls an opportunity to what we call embrace their Supergirl. We focus on a different creative outlet each week. We have different objectives, and then we break it down into social circles where we give them an opportunity to really go through 3 processes: chit chat, scribble out whatever is coming to mind that you need to get off your chest but you don't really want to say out loud yet, and then stars and wishes, where we give them an opportunity to learn how to give positive feedback and then receive positive feedback. So we're launching June 6th at the Holly Hart Children's Museum in Tempe. It's going to be so much fun. Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 to noon. Parents can enroll their child online, seversonsisters.org. And we're actually already starting to see some great support from the community. We've been live 16 days.
Yay!
Starting to see donations and kids enrolled, so it's going to be so much fun.
Well, it's beautiful work. Carrie, thanks for sharing it with our viewers.
Thank you.
All right.